Hi, my name is Miranda Kаули Hелър, and I'm the author of the novel The Paper Palace, which was recently published in the United States and in the United Kingdom. I wanted to introduce myself to you guys and to introduce the novel to you a little bit. Paper Palace is a novel about the choices that determine our lives. It's about how place becomes indelible to us and can give us strength. It's about the way we inherit choices from our parents and our grandparents. And it's about asking questions that may not have answers. So, Elle Bishop is the heroine of the novel. She's in her early 50s, and she's very happily married to Peter and has 3 children. When the novel opens, she is staying at her mother's summer camp where she spent every summer of her life. It's on the outer Cape Cod, and on the edge of a pond. It's called the Paper Palace, which is an ironic name because the place was built when her grandfather ran out of money, largely out of homosote, which is kind of cardboard. So they named it the Paper Palace as a joke. So Elle, when the novel opens, finds herself facing an impossible decision, one that she has 24 hours to solve. The night before, Elle goes out the back door during her mother's dinner party with her husband inside and all the dinner guests still there and her children asleep in their cabin. And she has passionate sex with her best friend, Jonas, for the first time. And Jonas is the man that she's loved her entire life and always thought she would marry had it not been for something terrible that happened in their childhood and kept them apart. And so over the next day, in a single day, she's going to have to make this decision, whether to stay with her husband or go with Jonas. And the novel is told in 2 time frames. So it's the 24 hours and it's also 50 years, not flashback, but Elle's life told in moments. And so that the reader understands slowly but surely how Elle got to this moment in her life for the first time, why she finally did this with Jonas when she never had before. There's a sort of an emotional mystery at the core of the book, which is not a whodunit, but it's a sort of why done it that has a sort of propulsive effect through the book. And of course, by the end, you do learn. The thing about Elle's choice is that there's no bad choice. She loves these 2 men equally. But if there's no bad choice, then there's no good choice. And I think, what do you do then? How do you determine your future and your entire life when you just don't know which way to turn? And it's the impossibility of something like that I really wanted to explore. When I was a kid, my mother would always say to me when I was trying to make some decision between 2 things and I couldn't make up my mind, she'd say, Miranda, flip a coin, and if you're disappointed by the outcome, then do the opposite, right? I mean, in other words, your gut knows the answer, right? Even if you don't. So when I started this novel, I was personally at a crossroads, and I felt frozen in place because I wanted both things, which I think is probably pretty typical in life. And, so I thought, flip a coin, but then flip it again. And that's the problem with my mother's advice is, what if you want both things? What if both sides are heads? And that's sort of what is happening with Elle in the novel.